Now, the curse and blessing of international football is that the players do not get to play together every time. But then again, they are the best players in each country. Now, the big question is, will the Super Eagles of Nigeria bring out the best players today as they face Libya in that all-important clash for the Nations Cup happening in Cameroon in 2019? We welcome you to a very, very beautiful morning. This is Old Sports. It's the longest-running sports show on Nigerian television. And the guys are in the studios and they are ready for this one. And I'm sure you, yes, you looking at me right there, is ready for that juicy encounter, the double-header actually, one today and the other coming in the course of the week between Nigeria and Libya. The Super Eagles of Nigeria haven't particularly been quite super in that particular group, but hey, it's the very first qualifier games happening right after the World Cup. Let me hear from the guys in the studio. We got Leye back in the studio after a brief. Leye went on transfer, he went on loan, and then he's back, and then he's finding out still in this.
Good to be back on the show.
Yeah.
Thank God for life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A wonderful Saturday it is, and hopefully to be one that will be capped well by the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Good to be on the show.
The man who loves Owambe, the man who loves rice and wedding duties is in the studio as usual. I just hope that particular game falls when you're eating rice at a wedding.
I'll follow it through now. I'll still watch. I'll be watching it on my mobile phone and I'll still be eating my rice. So it's good because I have to support Nigeria. You know, we rice for Ngari.
But of course, it is the very first game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at home at Akwa Ibom. That's the Champions Nest, and we're hoping that the champions, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 2013 champion of the Nations Cup, could come to bear. But how excited am I to know for a fact that you right there looking at me in the screen right now has been waiting for this show today, because this year is a potpourri of different football conversation and sports conversation like never before. So we'll go for a quick break. When we return, the major issue on our burner this morning is whether or not should, in fact, rechristened the coach, the name of the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I won't say it, be the one to say it. What's the name of the Super Eagles coach?
His name is now Gernot Rohr now. He's not in Nigeria. He's not in Nigeria. Full-blown Nigeria.
So you call him Gernot Rohr?
Yeah, Gernot Rohr.
Okay. So will the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Gernot Rohr, will he start Odion Ighalo? How well has Odion Ighalo fared in the Super Eagles of Nigeria's jersey? We will hear from this man right after this break. Stick around.
If you know it, go internet or follow for Twitter. You know it, snap photo send or get it photo send. Now because you the use Palasa, your phone no they answer. See me see wahala. My brother, go get smartphone, yeah. Drop that Palasa phone. Phone when no go for your honey. Drop that Palasa phone. Phone when no fit take selfie. Drop that Palasa phone. No be correct phone, yeah. Drop that Palasa phone.
My people, no let Palasa phone fall your hand this year. Kia go buy 3G or 4G smartphone, or bring that your phone join MTN, and then go summer you with 100% awoof data bam on top every data bundle way you buy for the next 3 months. So drop that Palasa now, change your levels so that you go fit enjoy fast internet on the network we get data for everywhere for we country Nigeria. This offer day open to new and old MTN customers.
You're welcome back to the show. This is Old Sport, and if you're just joining us, we thank you so very much. Please do well to follow us on our social media platform right up there. You get to see it at the show and shoes. And please, the number on your screen is the number to send your text messages to, as we are looking forward to hearing your very, very important thoughts coming through. Right now, coming through is the thesis statement of the gentleman. Let me start with you, Odion Ighalo. Is it worth the deal? Or should Odion, should Gernot Rohr try other players in that position?
Odion Ighalo, I think it's time for him to not actually be our starting striker. We shouldn't be talking about that. So I feel that Gernot Rohr right now should give new strikers a chance. So I feel he shouldn't be back into the team.
That means he has to be back to the team, Leye.
Well, I think he's a proven striker. Like they say, from his temporal class is permanent. This is a guy that is 29-year-old. He's done scoring goals to club and country. But of course, at the same time, if you don't play well in the office, doesn't mean you're a very bad person. He's 29. He's the most experienced striker we've got in Super Eagles of Nigeria. And I feel so far he's still there. The older you are, the better you'll be.
Oh, well, that's what Leia feels, especially as concerned this particular topic. But what do you think? Please do to reach us on the show. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts because it is because of you that we're here. This particular segment is brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go. And when we return from this break, every thought is coming from the lips of this gentleman on whether or not Odion Ighalo deserves a chance in this particular team. And you welcome back to the show. This is Hot Sports. Odion Ighalo, should he start against Libya? And I start with you. Why shouldn't he start?
Yeah, because Ighalo's form for Nigeria is really poor. We can see the stats. We can see how many goals he has scored for Nigeria and how many appearances. So I feel that we shouldn't really be talking about this. We all know the miss that he had in the World Cup that had everybody really shouting about it. But the thing about it is that there are strikers who right now we need to give chance. We're talking about Odion Ighalo in 2018 starting for Nigeria right now. We need to give hungry players that are very, very hungry.
Players like?
You have players in Europe, like Iheanacho over Ighalo any day, anytime. Iheanacho plays in the Premier League right now. Ighalo left the Premier League and went to China. So I really don't think why we should be having this conversation that much of what Gernot Rohr, or like I like to call him, Gernot Rohr, should really do about this right now.
I think for me, we must be very factual as regards this. For a man who has done it well for both club and country, played far and wide, talking about Odion Ighalo, I think he's one player who, right now in the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he still has a stake. Let's not forget he was able to stop his goal drought in the competitive game against Citrus. They were via penalty spots, but looking at his fact that he's got this presence, going forward, he could bully, defenders. Remember World Cup qualifier against Cameroon, where he was given a very precise pass by Mikel Obi, showboated the defender, of course, put the ball at the back of the net. That is what a striker can do.
Why couldn't he bully the ball to the
striker?
net?
Like I told you, if you have a bad day in the office, doesn't mean you're a bad striker. And that's
so
what
please,
how
many goals has he scored for Nigeria?
It wrong. Well, he's not part of the most prolific goal scorers, but the goals he scores are very vital. When you score goals that made us qualify for the World Cup in the most seamless fashion in the history of Nigerian football, it means you're a good striker. The fact that you don't have it good on a particular day doesn't actually mean.
So what happens if you were there on that day?
Iheanacho has been given his chances. He hasn't actually done so well.
Iheanacho is young.
So now
he has to develop.
So now, for a 29-year-old man who is still playing top-flight football, we know in the Nigerian context, if you are 29, you are already faded out. But at 29, you are still a player in which a coach still feels you are doing fine.
Okay, now,
in China, the score goals are plenty.
Okay, we are talking about China. The Nigerian league is tougher than the Chinese league. We know that.
No, don't say that. See,
the Nigerian league. No, off-cam or on-cam, you can support that. Off-cam, me and you go to what we are going to talk after this.
If you're saying no Ighalo, if you're saying Gernot Rohr shouldn't play Ighalo,
who are the strikers? Are they proven?
Would you say that a Simeon Wako or probably any Yekuru or maybe Iheanacho could actually make better chances than Ighalo?
You are saying if Ighalo doesn't start for us, we can play Iheanacho, we can play Henry. Henry is a very young striker, he's still developing. And the thing, see, now this is the funny part about the German thing about the 2014 World Cup. These were all young boys that were not proven in their national team, that they built together, they got to that stage. See, the problem I have with us is that we want to just eat the cake now. We don't want to bake it, we just want the cake to come automatically. Right now, Ighalo's performance for Nigeria has been very poor.
No.
He slows down our attack. Our teams are not cohesive.
This is the case. Hold on, let me just say this. This is the case for Ighalo.
Yeah.
This is the case against Ighalo. You're making. It slows down the attack. You have to make a case for him as well.
I've told you.
You are talking about experience. You're talking about experience. You see Oliver Giroud. He has won the World Cup without no shot on target. We're not talking about having a goal. But you know what? You've seen an impact. You know why Deschamps wants to use Giroud. Now you tell me what Ighalo, because you are just talking about in China. And I say a player in Kanu Pillars, a player in Kanu Pillars right now, we do so well in China. What physicality, dominance in front of goal, that you couldn't score against Argentina 1-1.
They are not well
you couldn't score against Argentina
1-1.
Henry is going to
the World Cup, we saw Iheanacho playing the second game against Iceland. We saw him perform. He was actually substituted at the end of the game.
How old was Rooney when he scored that goal against Arsenal? You need to give all these guys time. How old was Messi when he started to dazzle? We keep forgetting there is no time. This is where you develop your players, because all these young boys are going to do amazing stuff. And when you give them this time, not only are you building the confidence, you are building the confidence for the national team. You are helping other stage of your football to grow. So we can't be here talking about Ighalo should come back to the national team.
Okay, so like we said, this is the very first game Super Eagles will be playing at home, and they have played their very first game in this year in the qualifiers after the World Cup. They played Seychelles and they won 3-0 over there in Seychelles. Now they are in Nigeria in Akwa Ibom, and we're looking forward to how this one will definitely end. All right, so the next 30 seconds will be given to the gentlemen to give us their final thoughts. And that means there will be no further thing to be said on this topic after that time. Let me start with that.
Today's encounter, I believe Gernot Rohr will surely give Odion Ighalo the chance to spearhead the attack, because it's always tested and proven. And then again, like I said, we don't need to take chances, because we need to make sure we do well over the course of these two double-header encounters against the Libyan national team. So the best players, any player that feels he could do the job, should be played on the pitch of play.
And you know.
So you keep saying tested and proven. I don't really know. Ighalo is not even in the game. We are talking about in China. Nigerian league football is tougher than Chinese football. So like I said, I think Gernot Rohr should right now stop using names and actually look at form in terms of your national football. I've told you, either you use Kelechi or use Henry to play. You keep saying who are the players, but I keep telling you there would have never been a Rooney if the coach had said, you know what, this boy is too young. You know what, Owen, let's try and be using you. You let your young players are going to grow and have to do great things. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, only time will tell. And let's see if at all Odion Ighalo could actually deliver the goods today. If at all, he also gets to start. Maybe, maybe not. But one thing is sure, that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will today play against Libya in Akwa Ibom, and we're looking forward to maximum 3 points. Guys, I think we all agree on that one, right?
No, we agree on that one.
Maximum 3 points?
Okay. We can bet on the keeper scoring.
All right, guys, moving on. I will go for a quick break. When we return, there's so much to talk about on the other side. You want to be part of this, I'm sure. Stick around.
I think this team will have the maturity in 2022 to be really very, very strong. You can say to all Nigerian people that we will fight, we will have a good attitude, positive attitude, and make honor to this big country.
HS Media Group, owners of the Hot Sports brand, has tied up a production services deal for the recording of the Nigerian version of a popular US television game show, The Price is Right. The deal was sealed on Tuesday after an MOU signing ceremony at the HS Media headquarters in Oregon, Lagos, between Genesis Studios, the official franchise owners of The Price is Right in Nigeria, and HS Media Group. According to Abraham Praise, the director and producer of The Price is Right Nigeria, Genesis Studios is engaging HS Media for the production of the game show in Nigeria because of the state-of-the-art facilities at the HS Media Studios. Reacting to the new production contract, the Chief Executive Officer, HS Media Group, Taye Ige, expressed confidence that HS Media will deliver on the brief.
The price is right when an enthusiastic buyer meets an enthusiastic seller. In between them, of course, there must be sort out the issue of capability. That's when in law say that if every party to an agreement must be able, willing, and capable to deliver. On our side, evidently, and I believe we have very little to prove, we are capable, we are able, and we are willing to deliver on this brief.
The Price is Right, a television game show, has been a constant household delight for American television audience since its first production on September 4, 1972. The show revolves around contestants competing by identifying accurate pricing of merchandise to win cash and prizes.
MTN gives 2,000% bonus for reactivating your MTN SIM. That's right. If you haven't used your MTN SIM for 45 days or more, recharge now and get 2,000% bonus. That's right, 2,000% bonus for your first recharge of every month.
very first thing I want to talk about is that the Women's Nations Cup, the AFCON, it's a 2018 draw, is built to happen in October 21st actually, in Accra. And Nigeria and Ghana are the top seeds, and this particular tournament is set to start from November 17th to December the 1st in 2018. We're looking forward to how the groups will pan out. There's really not much to talk about in that, but there's something to talk about in this next story. The Ballon d'Or nominations was out, guys, and let's just talk about who has made our 2018 before we break it down. And then, you know, it's the group of 50 now, I think, and then later we'll have the group of 10 and the group of 5 and then 3 eventually. Your top player for 2018?
still Messi and Ronaldo.
Guys, the Ballon d'Or has been between Messi and Ronaldo since 2008. Yeah. Either of them have been winning it, and they've been quite very, very, very dominant, to say the least. And, you know, do you think it's been a year of Luka Modric?
Yeah.
Luka FIFA Player of the Year, Luka Best Player of the World Cup. It looks as if I thought there is one player that can break this duopoly, it will be Modric.
I think the reason why they will give it to Modric because they're just trying to break it. Yeah. He's actually not. To me, he's actually not deserving because we're explaining on the show, Leo Messi has more goals and more assists than Modric. Ronaldo has more goals, and I'm sure assist-wise, Ronaldo is Modric. Modric doesn't even assist you. He's not an assister. So when you're trying to pick this as a team, I mean, you know what's really paying me about this whole Modric thing about the Croatian team? The Croatian national team, they were so cohesive. They were like a team squad, you know. But then everybody's only going to pick up one man. But you keep forgetting if Modric was lacking, there was Rakitic. If Modric isn't moving, Rakitic is doing it. Perisic was doing it. Brozovic was doing it. These guys work together. You even had their own president coming to hug people. You know, they were like a family. And it's painful that we keep talking about Modric. But look at Ronaldo's performance. No, I don't need a hug. I need money. Look at Ronaldo's performance now in the last Champions League. Very wonderful. The goal against Juve, everything he did. Messi broke so many records last season. Golden Boots, the highest goal scorer in Europe. You know, highest goal scorer in Europe, highest assist in La Liga. It's painful.
A lot of people actually feel that it should be another Messi Ronaldo domination. But
this one easily,
this could be
easily Messi Ronaldo again easily.
Well, one thing we definitely know that it's a thing is that innovation is always a good thing, especially when you consider the fact that CAF are looking at the chances of introducing VAR for the Champions League, the CAF Champions League, and the Confed Cup finals. I think this is a good thing.
Yeah,
especially locally and continentally as well.
It's a very wonderful thing for Africa, but you know I don't like VAR. But then again, the game, no offense, the game here already would, well, it will improve it actually. It will really improve it because, yeah, we have a lot of wrong referee decisions. Did you see the video of the ball that went, I think it hit the bar and the referee said it was a goal. It happened in one of, like 3 weeks ago, a league match in Africa. So it's really poor officiating from our referees. So obviously it will help. And where VAR will help a lot is we have a lot of issue of match fixing over here. So VAR is going to improve that aspect. Yeah, it's going to really improve and help curb that.
Well, at this point, we look at the UEFA Nations League, and that's happening right across Europe. And the Group A1 fixture would see Netherlands play Germany. That's a big game.
Yeah, a very big game. Netherlands, they failed to qualify for the World Cup in the first time in 45 years. And of course, for Germany, also ousted from the World Cup. It will be a good one to see how these two teams will fare out against one another. Germany, you know, still continuing their fantastic fashion. Netherlands, they won their last game in which they played. I think that was against, I think, France or thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, we got to see.
France beat them.
Okay, France. They lost their game against France.
Good. So hopefully, we're going to see how they will actually fare against Germany, who are also more on a renaissance after they were ousted from the World Cup in the group stage.
Well, you're a Messi fan. You've not hidden it that you like Messi. But recently, we heard that there's a rumor about whether or not he's going to retire because it's obviously not going to be part of the Argentina's team against Brazil and Iraq friendly. And people are saying, the press is talking right now that Lionel Messi may yet again retire from international football.
I just think Messi is getting older. So right now, I think because of his body and everything, and Barcelona, they need him a lot. So they just don't want him playing in friendly games. Because if it was a qualifier, a very important qualifier right now, trust me, Babaji, they will see Messi back in that team. So right now, he's just trying to take a break. You know, he had a lot of disappointment in the World Cup and everything. So he's going to come back. He's going to come back strong. I don't think he's retiring anytime soon.
Oh, well, maybe not, because I'm for the opinion that when a player gets to a certain age, it's time for him to just sit back and probably watch his body and start picking games. We've seen it, or probably reinvent himself. And when it comes to reinvention, I'm sure there's no better player out there than Lionel Messi. Let's talk about athletics now, shall we? Nigeria is set to participate in the World Para-Athletics qualifiers in Italy, at AFCON International Athletics Championship in the field events only. The championship is served as qualifiers for the 2019 World Championships, which is slated to start from October 23rd to 29th. Oh, well, it's the ongoing Youth Olympic Games happening in Buenos Aires in Argentina. I see Nigerians and Nigeria participating. It's the 5th edition of the Youth Olympic Games, and it started October 6th and it will end on the 18th of October. Our team Nigeria is represented with 17 athletes in 5 sports: badminton, canoeing, golf, table tennis, and 2 in wrestling. And finally, in the world of pugilism, there was this particular Nigerian boxer who did a very, very interesting ad one time, who said, I will eliminate him in first round, I think, destroy him in second round, and I would knock him out in the third round. Because I'm the greatest ever. And I'm boxing to shock the world. I'm not going to say the name, but of course, if you were in that particular generation of sports fans that time, you would know the person I'm talking about. But this is big. This one is huge. This could be the biggest boxing match we've seen all year long. We've seen top boxing fight, Joshua and Prophet King here and there. But Leye, Fury against Wilder, it keeps gathering momentum, this.
Yeah, to be a fantastic bout. We've seen so much regards talking about Anthony Joshua and of course Prophet King. But right now this will be another fantastic boxing bout. Wilder and Fury. These guys have come in terms of loggerheads, trying to see who would actually lay claims to the WBC title. But we got to see how this will pan out, because so much has been said about this bout. Like they said, as a boxer, you don't tend to negotiate the kind of bout you want to get, but of course you get to fight the kind of bout you want to get.
Oh, well, the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, has advised Tyson Fury to enroll in clean boxing programs if he wants to fight Deontay Wilder for the world title. Are we looking forward to how this one would look like? Because if you're a boxing fan, there are some fights you cannot miss. And I tell you what, personally, I'm telling you right now, guys, I've not missed any big fight in recent time. Let's go for a quick and final break. When we return on the show, it's time for my final whistle. You're welcome back to the show, and we've exhausted all our stories. But one more thing, we need to do our final whistle before we get out of the studio to go get ready for the big one as Nigeria plays Libya today, this Saturday. We're looking forward to the very best of happenings on that pitch and maximum points. But earlier on the show, we did mention in a segment brought to you by MTN whether or not should Gernot Rohr, the one called Odion Ighalo, his new name by the way, should he start Odion Ighalo in this particular game? Well, this is my final whistle. We've seen Nigeria play quite well without Odion Ighalo. In fact, in the game against Argentina, he didn't get to start that game, and things in a way were actually going according to plan. And then you flip it to when Odion Ighalo came back into that pitch. And aside that as well, we also saw at the beginning of that World Cup qualifiers, Nigeria played Zambia and defeated Zambia 3-1 without Odion Ighalo. We've seen Nigeria play football recently without Odion Ighalo. I think it's high time Gernot Rohr tried using the other guys so as to allow them get used to big stages, big times like this. And without Odion Ighalo, who knows? Maybe we could have an Henry Onyekuru step up to the plate, or possibly maybe Ekelechi Iheanacho as well can step up to that particular position, or the most talked about Simi Nwankwo, who also has given a good account of himself on the little time he has had. But I'm thinking that Gernot Rohr knows this already, and possibly we would not see Odion Ighalo. We are not pro any player. We are for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and we feel strongly that every player should be given equal chance to prove themselves at levels like this. But that's the final whistle on the show today, and please do well to follow us on our social media platform right there on your screen. Yes, I've dearly missed everyone on the show, and it's good to be back. And boy, 30 minutes is done and dusted. We got to get out of the studio to go prepare for the game, and we wish you the very best of life and living. But of course, you have to hear from the guys as well as they bid you farewell. Leye?
Well, what have to be as always. It's always good to be alive, regardless of the situation. We should thank God.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week.
Hey,
Well,
no party today. I'm happy.
We are going to watch Nigeria.
Yeah,
and
that's the party.
We are going to see Nigeria is going to win, like you have said, without Ighalo. It has been your team for today.
All right, guys, we hope to see you guys. Thank you very much, thank you very much, Olale. You guys deserve some accolade. Chee! Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.